Hello, little dreams, little dreamy ones. It has been such a dreamy time. I've either been daydreaming or taking tons of naps and traveling in my dreams, doing all kinds of things, talking to all kinds of people. Resolves, many multi-dimensional things happening at this very unique eclipse time. So we've been having lots of storms and earthquakes leading up to this eclipse, which is just indicative of the changes that are to be had and experienced in our own lives. It's happening with Mother Earth. Whatever happens to Mother Earth happens to us because we're a part of her. So she's experiencing the onset of the eclipse, as are we. The solar eclipse happens on Monday, April 8th, mid-morning, Pacific Standard Time. Really, it starts around 9:45 a.m. and it doesn't actually end until around 1 o'clock p.m. But the peak is about 11:13. So this is happening in the real sky at 29 degrees of Pisces. And there are many heavenly bodies at play here. First of all, with the solar eclipse, it's when the moon moves in between the earth and the sun. And from our view on earth, it blocks out the light of the sun. This is a Rahu eclipse, so north node of the moon is what's creating this eclipse. And Chiron is also conjunct this eclipse. And Chiron is a very kind energy. It's the energy of the wounded healer. So bringing up our another layer of our wounding to be healed so we can walk with it, help show others the way. And then some other players we have Venus conjunct Neptune in the earlier degrees of Pisces. And this is so dreamy, you guys. It's also quite beautiful, especially if you are in a solid, loving relationship already. Then it's just so on. It is just so sweet and beautiful, and lots of daydreaming and commitments, further commitments, deepening our commitment with each other. If you're not committed already, this could be it could be a bit of an illusory time with love. It's like you can't quite grasp it. You're thinking, is it them? Are they the ones? But there's like this unsureness, uncertainty. So I suggest, just going with the flow. We're in really deep astral waters right now. Just kind of, let go and go with the current. That's what they say if you ever get swept out to sea, is you just go with the current until you can swim back in. And that's kind of like what we're dealing with this energy. It can sweep us out, is very astrally, very etheric, very floaty, can be illusory. So try not to, just go with the flow, basically. And if this feeling is really uncomfortable, because astral vibes can be quite uncomfortable for some people. So if that is the case, work on grounding yourself. Put on some drum beats, do grounding techniques, look up some grounding meditations on YouTube, and just keep things really simple. Stay away from substances, of course, that take you out of your body. But for, very sensitive beings, this energy could be quite enjoyable. because there's a lot of very subtle energy with all those planets in Pisces. That massive Pisces stellium is just like kind of medicine vibes and you know, very dreamy. So we can be daydreaming all day long. We could be dreaming up beautiful ideas and visions for ourselves and our loved ones and our lives. We could be having very prophetic dreams in our dream time. We could be having message dreams as well. Pisces is the sign of liberation, unconfinement. This is the last sign that souls pass through as they leave the material plane and head for the astral. So this is full-on liberation. So if we're not tethered to anything right now, we could really go far. So it's very easy to go far in our minds, and that's why it's best to abstain from taking anything right now, because you could really go way out there, and that can be pretty scary for some people. This is all about freedom, and it's happening in the further division, the nakshatra or the Luna mansion of Revati. So this is also like the beginning of a financial revolution upon us, creating wealth, creating more financial freedom for ourselves. So this is really wonderful news for all of us. It is a very psychic area of the sky, Revati. It also has to do with independence, law and politics. This is like a changing of the guard in politics. It also has very good marriage karma. So again, if you're committed, this is really beautifying your relationship and deepening the commitment. So it's actually quite lovely in a lot of respects. Pisces rules all bodily fluids, blood, saliva, the lymphatic system. So any type of lymphatic drainage right now is going to be very much in alignment with the energy and very beneficial. Pisces sits on the purification axis with Virgo, the healing axis. Pisces is like the spiritual healing, whereas Virgo is more like the mind-body healing. And although Pisces does rule the fluids in the body, of course, it's also very much so the sign of spiritual health, liberation, spiritual freedom, sovereignty. So it's really beautiful. Let's look here. Yeah, and so with that Rahu, Chiron, Sun, Moon conjunction for the eclipse, the spotlight is really on our subconscious mind and elevating our spiritual health and redirecting us to a more free timeline, to a more independent timeline, to a wealthier timeline, to a timeline with better marriage karma, better relationship karma. It's really giving us an opportunity to change the guard within ourselves, elevating us to a more psychic timeline, getting us more attuned to subtle energies and sensitivities. I've been noticing that very sensitive people are very tired right now. Mediums are like incredibly exhausted. And it's just, I think it's just because we're needing to get into that, you know, that brain wavelength, that really subtle psychic space in our mind. That's where we're needing to go right now. So it's making a lot of us very sleepy, so it puts us in that place. Some common themes for this eclipse is going to be a new financial chapter, spiritual purification, the change of the guard politically and within our own subconscious, and of course unexpected changes that we cannot predict. Eclipses are wild cards, and you know, this is one of the most unique eclipses I've experienced. And you know, eclipse energy is usually quite edgy, but this is quite a different energy. So I don't really know exactly what to expect on the day of the eclipse, because it seems like this is a real like anomaly. Usually eclipse energy is super intense, very chaotic. This is more on the subtle realm and very psychic, and these subtle psychic changes in energy. Yeah, so just wishing everybody a lot of slowness, a lot of stillness, a lot of time to connect with spirit and with yourself, and time to recognize any faculties arising within your psychic body, within your internal stasis, your emotions. If you're becoming aware of more subtleties within yourself and in your environment, just wishing everybody a lot of awareness. Keep a little journal bedside for your dream time, and yeah, keep things simple. And this is a new chapter for all of us, and it's more of a peaceful chapter after we head out of this eclipse. Jupiter will be moving into Taurus, which will be a lot more peaceful than how it's been with Jupiter in Aries. And of course, I'll cover that very soon, but just wishing everybody a real smooth sail through this Piscean stellium eclipse. So much love. Ciao.